Good morning, Internet. Now hold your horses. I am not hostile. We are gentlemen over here, and we can debate like gentlemen. This whole RPG debate, honestly, is a little bit tiring. It's going on for a lot, like 2 decades now. And I mean, I understand. If you prefer turn based, you prefer turn based. There's nothing we should do about it. I'm not going to brainwash you into anything. There are just a few things, two exactly, that bother me in this debate. Toggle, can you please be a little bit quiet? First, action RPGs being brain dead. And second, outlandish to like an action RPG. Well, let me tell you, let me give you a little sneak peek into my little ADD brain. Why I like this, why I like how Square is trying completely different action approaches and always changing their gameplay and trying new stuff. It can be very appealing. So this is basically a hear me out. Just that I don't have a cake. Now the first thing is action RPGs do have beauty and strategy in their game. Like the thing with these with action RPGs, character action RPG, anything that goes into action is that the goal is not necessarily the goal. It's the interaction. Like you see this, hey, this knocks down, hey, this puts him back into his feet, hey, I can cross up this way and go for other stuff. Hey, it refloats this guy. Interaction like this is what is appealing about these games. It's not necessarily killing the opponent as fast as possible, otherwise we would all just do a optimal speedrun route, and I don't think people, even turn-based fans, are into this because we are individuals. We are all different. We play games differently. We have our preferences, which is perfect for an action RPG because you can approach these games in a completely different way. That's the beauty of it, finding out stuff and how they behave in different situations and interactions. And there is a lot to discover in this game. We will go into it later. I would like to maybe come out and admit one particular thing. It's that initially I didn't like this game either because the hitboxes are insanely huge. You see that? I whiffed and he still got up in the air. These are things that Devil May Cry 5, for instance, is also guilty of. And there is a particular reason for that. You saw me using these abilities and whatnot. If you would look down at the right of the screen, you see that there are shortcuts for these abilities. And you may realize there are only 2 slots for each summon I carry with me. And that's a deliberate design decision. Why exactly 2? It's because they didn't want to lock you out of jump while holding the shortcut button. The shortcut is a mechanic that Kingdom Hearts fans, for instance, will be very familiar with. Also the Tales fans. You completely swap your entire art slot for another set. It's just that in this game, in 2023, just having 2 slots is in total 6 is still, that's way too less. And that's a design decision that has been implemented because they wanted to appeal to people that don't like action RPGs. And that is quite frustrating for someone like me who loves action RPGs, who wants to go complete bonkers. This game is about combos. Like, it's not supposed to be a gatekeeping argument here. I know how this sounds, but this is already an action RPG, and turn-based fans will not like this anyway. It is quite frustrating to do compromises like this, even though people will not even engage with these systems anyway. So it's not just turn-based fans having casualties with this, it's also that compromises like this is like it's casualties for us, for action fans. And I don't know why they do that. If they want to do action RPG, they should just go all the way out and do action and not compromise with stuff like this. And there are also like all-purpose moves. Like, this is such a lazy combo filler. Just drag this guy all over to you if you just whiffed somewhere or some combo will not align with the other ability you just did. You can also just teleport into it. These are just like band-aid fixes for people that don't want to think way too much, which is also a really terrible thing to accuse turn-based fans of. Turn-based fans can be much, much smarter than that. They are not completely lazy people. So I don't understand why we do compromises like this. Another thing I will not agree with at all is that these games don't have any sorts of strategies. They actually do. You can, for instance, use all the projectiles in this game to act like you are a mage. Okay, I don't hit. Oh, I actually do. Okay, perfect. Like, to fight from the distance. You can also go completely bonkers with absurd abilities. Look at this, we even caught him mid-air. And this is nothing. This isn't hard to do. If you're willing to put a little bit of effort into it, and let's just say you want to be the king of air combos, you can also do that. All possible. You can even be much, much more creative than that. This game has absolute bonkers abilities. You can put even more effort into it. And just like that. It doesn't need to be optimal, but it looks good. Okay, I just realized I should have explained the last part a little bit more. This ability right here, this rift slip thing, if you do it immediately after a move, it will cancel Clive's recovery time. You saw the time going slower. If you do it just like that, it won't stop anything. So this is a way to cancel your moves to bridge it into another move real quick. And what you can also do is this move right here, for instance, you can cancel it at all. I'm spamming the dodge button. You can see it on the screen. Nothing's happening. This move, however, this limit break, this semi-prime that Clive goes into, it has the ability to cancel something. Which means this thing right here is suddenly cancelable. And I held the Zantetsuken button during his transformation, which is another thing you can do in this game. The animations for these things are huge, immense, and that's because they want you to give you some time to charge your buttons. Look at this. Look at the screen. Burning Blade. Do it again. Blizzard, Blizzara. This is also something the developers thought about, but that's also something like you can discover, which is really the cool thing about these games, the action games, all the cool things you can do and discover, and all the synergy that these moves have with each other. And that's not always a given. And that's the thing with this game. You can approach it in so many different ways. Be in this training mode, discover this different stuff, applying them. You don't even need to discover them yourself. That's the beauty in our modern day and age, and how what a big network we have built. You can go online, find stuff others have already found, and implement them yourself. And there's no shame in doing that. Everyone is doing that. The best speedrunners are doing that. It would be stupid otherwise. And the thing is also, Square always used to be very outlandish with their gameplay. It's not just a Squaresoft, Square Enix thing. Like back then they had a racing RPG, a fighting game RPG. They made Einhander. And I think that's just something Japanese people are generally into. Like, look at Capcom. They also really wanted to explore the action part of a game. Resident Evil has never been really like Resident Evil 2 ever after. Look at Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4, and Devil May Cry, which was supposed to be a Resident Evil game. And these are made by people who made Resident Evil 2. Japan practically grew up in arcades and had this idea in their head that they have to put the coin in there and make it last as much as possible and break the high score and be interactive with that. And which is why I think all of this isn't necessarily a trend chasing. It's a kinda sus why they went with Devil May Cry after Devil May Cry 5 success. But I also think that that's because they saw how many Final Fantasy 15 combo videos have been online and probably doubled down on it, but that's just a tinfoil hat theory. Whether or not you go with that, if that's a good enough explanation for you or not, is it's up to you. You can still prefer turn-based, you can still demand turn-based. I mean, I think Square also should do maybe a turn-based game. So, I mean, like, let's just say they go with turn-based in a AAA scale and it's a success. Uh, as long as they still do games like Stranger of Paradise and whatnot, all smaller games on a smaller scale with action combat, that would be a win for me too. Because the one thing I don't like about Final Fantasy 16 is the elaborate story presentation, the elaborate cutscenes, the way they talk is really annoying to me. And I don't really need fancy cutscenes as long as I have my gameplay. In fact, I am not even a fan of Game of Thrones. I really do hate the Final Fantasy 16 story, so it's not really a lose for me if they went with turn-based on a AAA scale and action on a AA scale. It would actually be good. It's just that I don't think it's fair to just belittle action like that as a unga bunga brain dead gameplay system, because it really isn't. There are also some people that said that you could just spam Stinger in Devil May Cry 3 and speedrun it that way. That guy would be torn apart in a Devil May Cry community. So, you guys have a good one. Please behave, please be nice to me.